All right, let's dive into this incredible ancient story. It's a tale that tries to explain one of nature's biggest mysteries, why the seasons change. But it's not a science lesson. It's a story about love, fate, and the forces that literally shape our world.
So it all kicks off with a question that people have been asking for thousands of years. On that one single night when it feels like the darkness has totally taken over, well, that's when something amazing is set into motion. And we're about to find out exactly what that is. We start on the night of Yalda. Now, for ancient Persians, this was way more than just the winter solstice. It was this huge cosmic event, a real turning point for the whole year. But here's the twist. Yalda isn't really a celebration of darkness. It's a celebration of the victory of light over darkness. It's the moment the sun god, Mitra, is supposedly reborn and starts his slow but steady comeback. Think of this night as a massive cosmic battleground. The forces of darkness, personified by this figure Ahriman, are at their absolute peak. So what did people do? They'd gather together, stay awake the entire night, and use the warmth of their fires and their families to, kind of lend their energy to the sun god to help him get reborn and push back the dark.
So, who represents this powerful, cold darkness? Well, let's meet the matriarch of winter. And trust me, she's way more interesting than just some simple villain. This is Nane Sarma, the grandmother of Frost. Just picture her, an old woman with hair as white as a snowbank, and her breath literally creates the winter wind. She is the embodiment of winter's deep, quiet stillness. But here's what's so important to understand. She is not evil at all. In fact, her cold is absolutely essential. It's this powerful idea that rest isn't just an absence of life, it's actually preparing for it. She provides that deep, restorative sleep that nature has to have to gather its strength and get ready for the explosion of life that's coming in the spring. So, who finally brings an end to her chilly reign? Well, it's the one person who embodies everything she is not, her beloved counterpart.
And here he is, Amu Nowruz, the herald of spring. Talk about a total opposite to Nana Sarma's stillness. He is all about warmth and joyful movement. They say wherever he walks, the earth just wakes up. You see green shoots pop up, flowers start to bloom, and birds begin to sing. So you see the dynamic here, right? It's stillness versus movement, cold versus warmth, a necessary rest versus a joyful renewal. But the key thing is, you can't have one without the other. They are two halves of this perfect cyclical balance that keeps the world turning.
Okay, now this is where it gets really beautiful and kind of heartbreaking. These two, they're in love. And their entire story, their whole relationship revolves around this one single meeting that is destined to happen just once a year, right on the edge of spring.
So every year, on the very last night of winter, Nane Sarma gets her home ready. She cleans every corner, she brews tea, bakes bread, and sets this beautiful table, all filled with love, just hoping, praying that this is finally the year she'll be awake to greet him.
And she whispers this promise to herself, just filled with all the hope from an entire year of waiting. This is it. This is the year she will finally see her beloved. But, it's inevitable. The sheer exhaustion from her job as the guardian of winter it overcomes her. The weight of an entire season of keeping the world cold and quiet is just too much, and she falls into this deep, profound sleep. And right then, as she sleeps, he arrives. His presence alone is the signal of change. He is the total opposite of her cold, sleeping world. The snow literally melts at his feet, the air gets warmer, and life starts to stir just because he's there. He finds his love fast asleep and says these sad, gentle words. He knows he can't wake her up. Why? Because his very nature is to end her reign. For spring to come, winter has to sleep. His time is come, and so hers must end. It's just the way it has to be. So he can't stay with her, but he leaves behind these promises of his season. He puts blossoms on her table, he fills the room with warmth, and he blesses her before he has to leave on his journey to wake up the rest of the world. When Aeneas Sarma finally wakes up, the world is warmer. She sees the gifts, she sees the signs that he was there, and she knows she's missed him. Again. And she says these bittersweet words, a promise of hope for the future, and begins her long, slow departure, taking the last of winter with her. So this incredibly moving story, it's way more than just a tragic romance. It's like a beautiful map of the entire cosmic cycle of the year. And there are actually more players involved than just our two lovers. So you've got Nane Sarma's deep stillness and Amu Nowruz's warmer rival, but there's a bridge between them. This joyful character named Haji Firuz. He's the guy who shows up in the streets, singing and dancing, basically announcing that winter's losing its grip and the bringer of warmth is on his way. He is the energy that connects stillness and renewal. So why do we keep telling this story thousands of years later? What is its lasting power? What are we supposed to take away from all of this? Well, this story gives us this really powerful way to understand our world. It teaches us that darkness is always temporary, that rest isn't failure, it's actually a vital part of life's cycle. And maybe most importantly, that hope is the engine that drives us forward, always towards renewal. And that is the beautiful paradox, isn't it? Their meeting can never actually happen, because if it did, the cycle would just stop. The very turning of the seasons, the cycle of life itself, is powered by their eternal, hopeful, and unfulfilled love story. And that really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. Their story seems to suggest that it's the waiting, that constant, persistent hope for next year, that truly makes renewal possible. So maybe our own times of waiting are just as essential for bringing about the new seasons in our own lives.